Hey everyone, welcome to Tipple Theory. My name is John, and this week we're going to be talking about margaritas. Yeah.
Tipple theory is the exploration of history and practice of creating alcohol around the world. On this show, we'll share some of the history of how your favorite beverages came to be, as well as techniques professional bartenders use to elevate your poison of choice into an experience worth savoring.
Hello and welcome to Tipple Theory with your VSOP hosts. My name is Sean.
And I'm September.
Yeah. Please visit tippletheory.com today to find other episodes and to figure out ways you can support us, I guess is what I wanted to say. Oh, goodness. So today's episode is margaritas. But before we get into that, September, what you been up to recently?
Well, maybe it's more what I'm gonna get up to because every time I hear a theme, I want rum. Like it's got that shanty thing going.
That's exactly what I asked for. I'm like, I want an Irish like jig / sea shanty.
There we go. And I'm going to burlesque this weekend, so they're doing like a nerd theme one, like not nerd, well, a nerd theme, but it's a cyberpunk theme.
Oh,
yeah. It'd be so cool.
There's just a few key scenes from The Matrix that are going through my mind right now. I'm like, that would be good burlesque.
Really would.
I would like that.
So let me see. I made a blackberry sage shrub. It's freaking lovely. I finally upped the herb component enough that it's coming through, which I've been having trouble balancing in shrubs, because it's not like recipe, like I put more and more. But with the maceration and then the vinegar, the herb component often gets lost.
Mm-hmm.
And my sage was going crazy flowering. So I just took like all that, shoved it all in there. And when I first tasted it a few days into the maceration, I was like, ooh, sage is really strong. Maybe I'll pull some of this out. And like, but by the time it was done, I didn't have to pull it out. I would have just had a little more saginess, but at least it came through.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's delicious. Yay, refreshing, non-alcoholic beverage. Just keep some seltzer in the house. Although maybe I should get some whiskey because it would be good with whiskey. Those components,
good, like kind of a smash.
Yeah.
Cocktail.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I did experiment, like I talked about before, making a jalapeno cucumber margarita with the cucumber jalapeno 1800 tequila my sister gave me. That tequila is kind of meh. It's got a stronger taste than I want, so it was a little tricky to balance with the cucumber coming through. Well, the tequila itself, tasting on its own, it had a sweetness I didn't expect. I was looking, and see if there was added ingredients that, like, are you cheating and using cucumber flavor instead of? But it says it's infused, so I was like, okay.
What was?
I don't.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know if it would have come through if I had not modified, but we'll talk about it. I'll talk about that later in the show. What I did to make my margarita and make it good. With that, I had to change the proportions a little bit because that tequila just has a very strong taste.
What was the proof of that tequila?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's
normally, and this is kind of my rule of thumb. If it's actually infused, like they rested cucumber and mint in the tequila, the proof is still going to be somewhere between 70 and 80, like kind of where it should be. If it's any lower than that, it usually means they added like cucumber mint water or something, some other kind of ingredient to make it flavor that way versus.
I mean, it was plenty strong.
Okay.
It's like 70 proof. It looks like from looking it up on the internet.
Yeah. Strange. Well,
yeah,
and sometimes it's.
I mean, I'm not particularly fond of tequila. It's not my favorite liquor. So that needs to be taken into account as well. Like, margaritas are great because they hide the tequila. It's kind of how they were invented.
Oh, were they?
Were they? I don't know. So what else? I made. I had a cooking success fail moment
Yeah.
on my stream. Um, that's another find me, folks. Go to Twitch and find 9 to 12. Because I do these cooking streams and I love it.
Yeah.
It's my
You do a
favorite thing.
lot of them too.
I love it. I'm really bad at scheduling. People are like, when are you streaming? I'm like, when I can. But I made I don't know if I talked about the beet story here, but I had all the beets in the world last year that I had to preserve from a food pantry that had them donated. And I took a carrot cake recipe that I was given by Amy Frost of Aquilo fame.
Uh-huh.
Um, her aunt's carrot cake recipe that has carrot pineapple cake and it's bundt cake, but I used shredded. I had roasted the last of the beets that I didn't finish preserving any other way. I had frozen. I thawed those out, grated them up, and used them in place of the carrot in the recipe. It's delicious. It's a big freaking mess because I did not grease the hell. I could do it again, so I know it tastes great and it works to do this substitution. Um, but I should have followed the direction. It said grease the bundt pan. I thought I was being smart because with bundt pans, it's a lot about letting it climb the shape. And I know from other situations that like greasing and flouring can be better in a bundt pan. No,
Mhm.
I should have just greased the shit out of that pan. I screwed up. I sprayed it and I floured it, and it would not come out. I'm
Oh.
trying to edge around and cut some and shake it, and then I finally give it the bang, and it
Yep.
half of it just
Half falls out.
crumbled all over the place. Like, so I did have a one section that I was intact enough to make some slices. So I had this big bowl now of like crumbled cake with some slices on top. So when you open the bowl, you can take out a slice or take out a little. And I have a whole thing of cream cheese frosting I made for it that I'm like, so it's like now I'm eating it by like bowls of this crumbled up cake and just like piping a little
Frosting on top.
dressing on top, because you got to pipe it because you just put a big spoon on it. That's not something you should do.
Right. Never.
Yeah. So it's good. I know I can do it again, and it does work. The substitution, it's delicious. Something else to do with beets, but it made me so sad. I was so looking forward to like next stream. I'm gonna show you the cake and we'll taste it. And I was like,
Oh.
no, I'll post the pictures and explanation in my Discord and tell you it was good next time I stream. It's okay. Part of my whole mission is like try new things. Don't be scared of cooking. Everybody screws up sometimes. Don't let it stop you. It's
Yeah.
worth doing anyway.
The positive messages.
Yeah.
That's good.
And good news for next, I don't know, the future of our recording. We talked about my glasses thing.
Yeah.
They're supposed to have the non-reflective stuff on them, and it's obviously not super effective. I went back to the glasses place and said, I didn't really notice right away, but I mean, except for seeing myself when I look at my phone. But I was recording a show because this is one of the few shows where I'm looking at my own face talking to you,
Mhm.
and it's really reflective. Like my co-host could have just read the notes in my glasses, and the guy looked at him. He's like, "Yeah, that's not. Hmm. Oh, I looked it up. It says it's on there." And then he takes him over to another person. She's like, "Is that supposed to be like the good coding?" He's like, "Yeah." She's like, "No." So they sent out, and I'm getting new lenses. And they're like, I don't know, maybe whoever was in the factory that day was just bad at it. So hopefully the next version are not so freaking reflective. I pay extra for that, damn it.
Should get it.
Right? It should work.
Right? I pay for my extra shot. I want my extra shot. Pay for my non-reflective coating. Give it to me here.
I don't want to pay for it. Just pour heavy,
Right, come on, just hook me up, man, hook me up.
I know the
Uh-huh.
owner.
Yeah, I know the
No.
owner. Yeah, I've met him too. Tell him I said hi, and that I'm not gonna steal from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause that's my job.
So it's been going on with you, and now that I've described all my delicious
Oh, man.
messes.
Let's see, I think I told you before the show last week, I didn't mention it on the show, but I got representation as a voice actor. I think I signed the contracts last week. So I started doing auditions with them, which is fun because it's like bigger projects that are kind of floating across my audition table, which
Yay.
is sweet. Like, oh, like these are companies I've heard of. Not that I don't appreciate the other ones that give me money. I do. I love them very much. Thank you, Rudd Plumbing, Heating, and Air. But so I did that. I made pickled eggs over the weekend. It's yeah. Hey, you can make the face. It's fine.
I,
I trying to remember what I.
I'm being hypocritical. I've never actually tried one. It just does not sound good to me. It's not the
I
texture I want in anything pickled from
mean, I
myself
like
personally.
hard-boiled eggs. I like pickles.
I like hard boiled eggs.
I like this. It just it is you just combine the two basically.
Eh.
Um,
Yeah.
I trying to remember when I discovered them. Sometime when I was doing like my very first podcast, and I remember just walking around the store and like seeing that, like I've never tried them, and we talk about all sorts of drinking stuff.
How did you work in bars all those years and not come across them?
I don't think I ever worked in a bar that had them.
Well,
Like it
I guess you're
wasn't.
fancy. It is kind of a dive bar thing.
I mean, I worked in one dive bar, but I also helped like for the transition to not being as divey. It's like that the whole like with the start of the whiskey revolution where it was like, oh, little craft cocktails and a little smaller bites. Before that, they were like roasting whole brisket every day. It was anyway, great bar. I finally it was
You pickled eggs.
2019-ish
Anyway.
that I tried the pickled eggs, and that became like one of my post-show snacks.
Hmm.
So like it'd be like 1 in the morning because we would have bands and we'd be drinking and doing a show and I thought, you know what, I could probably make pickled eggs. So I finally looked it up last weekend, bought an extra dozen eggs, and just you hard boil them, shell them, make a brine, put the hot brine over the eggs, seal it up, let them sit for a week. So I tried them yesterday, and they're not as pungent as if you buy store-bought pickled eggs. But I also was able to dial in the flavor more how I like it, a little less sweet and whatever you can get red pickled eggs, which are at least there's some beet in there.
Mhm.
Or if you buy really cheap ones, it's just red dye. Um, I've tried ones that aren't red. Either way, I think there's a little bit too much sugar in them. However, those are done. So I did mine with
Mm.
a little bit more dill, a little bit more like
It might come from
pickling
the
pickling
beet, but
spice. And yeah, that was crossing my
maybe I'll
mind
try
too.
it. Maybe next time I finish a jar of pickled beets, I'll heat up the brine and throw a couple hard-boiled eggs in there and just to try
Yeah.
without having to do a whole bunch I'll waste. If nothing else, you know what I would do? If I didn't like it, it would probably make a great egg salad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Weird
That
ass color. It would
so
be
that
pink.
that crossed my mind too. Is the next thing I want to do is try doing it like one of those as a Scotch egg. Because then you'd have like no making the face.
Sounds
Okay.
good to me. Yeah,
Thinking like the acidity versus like the fattiness of the pork
yeah, I guess.
could be good.
Be good in potato salad.
Yeah, it would. It would also be good in potato salad. I mean, I would do it as a deviled egg. But I like.
Yeah, if you like it, yeah.
I do.
I mean, because you're adding stuff when you're making a deviled egg, you're adding stuff for the deviling that has a similar flavor. So that would
Yeah.
be fine too, the mustardy.
Mm. Yeah, you're already adding like some
Vinegar.
acid. Yeah,
Yes. So you get vinegary because mustard is made with vinegar.
correct. So is mayo, right? Yeah.
No,
Yeah. No. Say no.
I said no.
It's not.
Like something like Miracle Whip or well, okay. You can use vinegar. I just made mayo the other day. I ran
Yeah.
out of mayo, and so I just made some. I used lemon juice.
Oh, right.
But you can use vinegar. I think
Right.
actually Duke's uses vinegar.
Mm.
And of course Miracle Whip but that's a salad dressing, not a mayonnaise. It's basically acid.
Right.
It's eggs and oil and whatever. I use a little lemon juice and a little Dijon and a pinch of salt in mine.
Yeah, I forgot about the. I've made mayo once, and I think I didn't have lemon juice that time. And I was like, "What else can you use?" Like vinegar, and that's probably where
Yeah,
my brain now defaults.
you can. Yep.
All right, well, I'm gonna pour a little bit of non-alcoholic tequila, and
Okay.
I'm ready to start talking about margaritas.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm drinking coffee in my ennui mug. Great.
Ooh. Mm. All right. So,
Just straight up, huh?
yeah,
Okay. Well, nice.
I'll talk about this one at the end, but
Okay.
I
All
dig
right.
it. So, the origins of the margarita. If okay, so to
It's
preface
sure a
this,
lot.
if we're this bad at figuring out like where old fashions came from, imagine it's a cocktail that has a Spanish name and how bad at least white people are at figuring out where this came from. So there are tons of origin stories. I think I counted 14 as I was looking around. But I heard some stories that had like similar through lines. Like they're like maybe different people, but the same chain of events, or maybe the same chain of events, but it happened in different locations. So there's a Francisco Morales story about creating the margarita in Juarez for a lady ordering a drink that sounded similar to a margarita. Um, and so that was like, oh, that's one potential one. And normally I like to go for like the date of first publication. But even when I was doing that, there are lots of stories that were published years after the fact that then had accounts that were from years before or overlapped the first published dates. Now, and that's still the one that's first published should count, but it was odd because they're like, "Oh no, I saw this happen," or "I was there," or "I was the guy."
Yeah.
So,
It was a lady named Margarita.
right,
There's a lot of versions of that out there.
right. So, from the earliest kind of record, there in the late 1800s, there's a family of cocktails called daisies, which are part of the sour family of cocktails. Sour, usually a citrus, lemon, sugar, and your spirit. That's kind of like the base. Uh, oh, I already wrote that out. I was calling that off memory. Liqueur, spirit. Anyway, lemon or lime juice. So in the Mobile Mail, July 23rd, 1936, it mentions a cocktail called a tequila daisy. So that has like the core components, but not a margarita. So in 1937, 1 year
Sort of
later,
not.
sort of, but not, but like really, really close. Like we're
So in the stuff I learned, but I will mention it and then we can take it out of that part of the notes that
Mhm.
like the Spanish word for daisy is margarita.
Mhm.
It's
Or
like
is it margarita, but like one letter off or something
no,
like
it's
that?
just margarita.
Or was it just
Like
margarita? Yeah, so, like, that would seem like that is that would be it. Someone's like, "Daisy," and they're like, "Ah, Daisy?" I think I had that story in here, maybe I don't.
yeah, like
Um,
maybe somebody just said that and I was like, that's what they wanted. And but it's not as interesting as all this other shit, right? I guess. Like
well, it's fun 'cause, like, everyone, like, right at this time is getting close. So, a year later, the Café Royal cocktail book, which is from a British publication, publisher, has a recipe for the picador, which is a half portion of tequila, a quarter portion, oh, I lost my, train of thought there, of Cointreau, a quarter portion of lemon or lime juice, shaken and served up. And that's I mean, you talk to some people now that, like they're like, "Yeah, that's how I make" well, except it says lemon or lime, but, like, that's how you
I
make
had
a
to look
margarita.
up because I was like, picador, it's got to mean something, right? It's apparently a mounted assistant in a bullfight. It's like we know, like a toreador, and we know some of these words. A picador is a mounted assistant in a Spanish bullfight who rides a horse and uses a lance to poke the bull early in the fight. So that's what they
I
named their version after.
My mind is in the gutter.
Ew, pika pika.
I'm like, oh, what kind of mounted assistant? Oh, on a horse. Oh, oh, this is not alcoholic tequila, I swear. Anyhoozle, so that's our picador. Then in 1939, the world famous Cotton Club Book of Mixed Drinks has a tequila sour recipe. Ounce and a half of tequila, half ounce of Cointreau, half ounce of lime juice specifically, not lemon or, but just lime juice, shaken, strained into a salted rimmed glass with a lime wedge. So
It's in 39. Okay.
that was in
So that's
39.
the first time I've seen the salt. I saw a lot of these, like,
Yeah.
the first printed one was in 1950 something, and like, no.
And that's where this is weird is like, well, it's not called a margarita, so is it a margarita? Because that's a fucking
That's
margarita, man.
exactly a margarita.
That's but they're not calling it one. But I think like when you have the Daisy Margarita translation, well,
Yeah.
so 1953. Oh, sorry, I actually put finally, but not really. In September of
Yeah.
1953, there's an issue of the Press Democrat newspaper that describes a cocktail called a margarita, composed of tequila, Cointreau, and lemon juice, solved in a salted rim glass.
So much
And
of this being lemon is weird. Although, I
yeah,
mean, if you go to a bar, a lot of times they just throw in sour mix, right? Like, unless it's a good bar where
yeah.
they're doing cocktails.
Or if you go to my bar and you're like, well, I just want a well tequila in my margarita. I'm like, oh, good, then you want sour mix.
Yeah.
I'm not wasting the lime juice I
But it's
squeezed by
so much
hand.
always been lime to me. Like, I don't want sour mix, but I'll deal with roses, you know, if you're busy. Because you don't need to be squeezing. If you didn't squeeze a bunch of lime juice because you're not a cocktail bar, I'll excuse using roses. But I was surprised to see so much of it being lemon.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. Like I that's probably another show. Why? Why is it lemon? Or why was lemon like? I don't know.
Was it easier to get? Yeah, there could be any number of reasons that we didn't research because we had plenty to look up about margaritas.
So
But
there's a
maybe I should also try drinking it though, making one.
yeah. I mean, that'd be worth it.
Yeah,
I'd be okay with
I've got this freaking
French
tequila.
toast.
I can report back.
Yeah. So also in 1953, there is an Esquire article that uses the same name but a recipe that says lemon or lime juice. And then in December of 1954, so another year after that, an LA Times article described the margarita like a Mexican daiquiri and regressing back to lemon juice in the recipe.
Regressing, really? Okay.
Yeah. I called it. I think I actually put regressing. I was
Yeah.
like, guys, we had it. You dialed it in. You're
It
there.
was the right thing. But, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure till I try it. I'm gonna say.
And then the last note I had for this progress to get to the margarita was in 1955. And this becomes a game of and that's when in 1955 is when there started a series of articles of people saying like, well, this person made it at this place first, and that's kind of where I stopped researching. So I was like, guys, come on,
Yeah,
I'm not.
that's where it starts to turn to. I can't. They had specific names of people, and it was by or for a person named Margarita. I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's not at all. It seems way, way unlikely given the Daisy thing is so solid.
Yeah, and I think that is the Francisco Morales one when he created in Juarez. That was the translation between
Yeah.
Daisy and Margarita, which I like that. I like that. I don't think the other ones were like, oh, it was created in California. I'm like, unless it was in Baja California, I don't care. I feel like this should be a Mexican cocktail, not a U.S. one.
Yeah. I mean, the whole. Yeah. Although, from what I was reading, doing it this way, like putting a bunch of citrus in it, was and a strong like triple sec or some kind of orange liqueur was really to initially hide the shitty mixto tequila
Mm.
because it's rough to drink, you know.
Right.
Not good agave stuff, which is what was kind of always coming out of Mexico to get. We talked about a lot about tequila in that episode, folks. If you want to go look back and
Mhm.
learn about tequila origins, was that last season? No, it was the season before because I don't know.
There was that might have been season 1.
When is season 1?
Season
Yeah.
3 was NA, although we did talk about tequila and mezcal. So we talked about it both years, both
Yeah.
seasons. Time flies, man.
Always more to learn though.
It's
Um,
true.
so yeah, it could have been I'd say the Southwest as well because in California that's where you're growing a lot of citrus, right?
Mm. Mhm.
So,
California, Arizona too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arizona? They have enough
Yeah.
water to grow citrus?
Not in the desert part, but there's other slightly less deserty parts. But they've been
Well, we
growing.
know it wasn't Florida, they can't have it. So, well, the only good thing about living in Florida was like my friend who had a grapefruit bush in the
Ooh.
backyard, just like they didn't like grapefruit. I'm like, hey, it's time for the grapefruit fruits, right? I'll be right over. I once flew home, or like, no, I took a train home with a suitcase full of grapefruit.
One of my grandmas had a grapefruit tree in her yard in Arizona.
Like
And
they had a juicer, my friends, like in the back
Mhm.
of bottom of a cupboard they had never used. I'm like, get out.
Damn.
I'm at their house, like processing grapefruit. Anyway,
Yeah, freeze that
which,
in some giant cubes, and you got juice forever.
yeah, you know what? All right, we're going to talk about variations in a bit, but we should add to that. I bet grapefruit would be great margarita flavor. Like pink grapefruit.
And bring up the cocktail notes.
Mm.
That does sound good. I don't know if
I
have I
don't
had
think
a
we've
grapefruit
ever come
margarita?
across that one.
I mean, that's a Greyhound.
People always do like mango,
Or
strawberry.
wait, not a
No,
Greyhound.
anyway,
What
we'll
is
get to that. Greyhound. No, that's
No,
the
that's
Greyhound.
vodka.
Yeah, vodka.
Is there a what we call that,
Anyway,
Chihuahua?
so let's talk about how it's changed over the years. It was funny to get to that section where I'm supposed to go like, how has it changed over the years? I'm like, the whole history of it, how it became a thing, is it evolving and changing. But I definitely found a bunch of stuff. In especially frozen margaritas is the most obvious, right? Because everybody thinks of that. Because it's
Oh,
now,
yeah.
I mean, this is a staple. Every Tex-Mex restaurant has frozen margaritas on the menu, just about ever since the 70s. But it's a neat story about how Dallas restaurateur Mariano Martinez adapted a soft serve ice cream machine to make them. So, like, his dad used to do frozen margaritas at home for his friends in batches in the blender. And if you've ever done that, I have. It's kind of a pain in the ass. You gotta have a really good blender.
Mhm.
I definitely have tried it in blenders that weren't good enough. That's frustrating. Because I mean, it's a shaken cocktail, but a frozen is a whole different thing. Exact same ingredients. Throw that sucker in the blender, and it's lovely. So he opened this restaurant, and the demand there. I mean, I guess a lot of his customers they knew of this. They hung out with his dad and at their house, and the bartenders were getting overwhelmed. Which, yeah, if you've ever done this, a whole bunch of people ordering that, fuck, like they're threatening to quit, right?
Mhm.
And then he's on his way to the restaurant one day, and he hits a 7-Eleven. And he's like, sees a Slurpee machine, like, oh, there's an idea. And he tried to buy one, and 7-Eleven was like, no, no, we will not sell you. You can't have one. So he bought a secondhand soft serve machine and tinkered around and modified it to make frozen margaritas to have them going like you see everywhere now. Even my local watering hole, they do wine slushy drinks and stuff. There's a lot of these
Mhm.
frozen drinks, so there's consistency, which is fantastic for a restaurant too, in this method. Um, and then, of course, ever since then, um, I was to say something. Oh, then people started really using mixes too. because you just pour your tequila and pour in the mix and the ice, and it does the thing. So you're not squeezing enough limes to make gallons at a time, most places. So, but you can get it fast and you can get it consistent. So then flavored ones got really popular through the 80s, which makes sense when you've got that kind of slushies going on,
Right.
liquory slushies in restaurants that people want that kind of thing. Like strawberry mango became really popular. Um, and in the 90s and 2000s, uh, it kind of made a shift. And we've talked about this, the 90s and the 2000s were a lot of people getting premium about their liquors, and the same thing happened with tequila and ingredients, kind of going back to a more pure margarita, using blue agave tequilas, using, squeezing your limes fresh became important in that part of the drinking culture. And 2010 forward, and I was kind of surprised it was that recent. I thought I was just late to the party, but it was only since the 2010s that you see spicy and smoky ones like
Yeah.
my favorite jalapeno margaritas. Gosh, I love them. Um, and then skinny ones too. We know the skinny stuff is another trend. The skinny margaritas have clubs like soda water in them for some reason.
I haven't
I
seen
don't
that.
know.
That seems okay.
It seems like a whole different drink right then. You
That's
know,
ranch water. That's
yeah, that's not. I don't know. And agave, which is I use agave in my margarita right now, actually. 'Cause I don't want simple in it, which is another thing that did change over the years. People started more recently, like, throwing some simple in, if they've gone back to just using lime juice, Cointreau, tequila, um, throwing in something a little sweet. If they're not using a sour mix or whatever,
yeah.
throwing in a little bit of simple syrup, but, like the one I made, the cucumber, jalapeno one I made, I'll talk about that in a minute. So clarified was something I found. Uh, our show notes will have the link to this guy's TikTok. I found a TikTok of a guy
is
making it.
is
So you
did
strain it with
did he
milk.
did he clarify the tequila like with milk,
He
or like
mixed
he
the
did the whole damn thing?
margaritas,
Oh, okay.
the tequila, the lime juice, the Cointreau, mixed it all up, poured in a bunch of whole milk, let it sit for a couple hours,
Mhm.
strained it through a strainer and cheesecloth, like twice, kind of, and then supposedly, and then till it was clear, it was clarified, and supposedly like smooths everything out. And then he was just drinking it over a large cube. Um, Ew, this doesn't seem worth it to me. I'm curious about the experiment, but the waste and the I don't understand how, because it curdles. And not big
Right.
curds, but you've got this little, because lime juice is acidic and it'll curdle your milk.
Sure.
So I'm not a chemist. I understand how this smooths out and clarifies flavors. In my head, I'm like,
I
but
mean,
but sour milk, ew. Like, uh,
I
I
mean,
don't understand what's
so
happening here.
I've made clarified milk punches before, which use whole
Okay,
milk and lemon juice and
yeah, I was
sherry
wondering
and
if
or
you had done this kind
brandy.
of thing.
Um, so yeah, you could do it with a margarita. And when you're straining, you don't need just you need a coffee filter. You might as well just get like an extra pour over coffee, something that you can put like a normal coffee basket
Yeah,
in
he
and
was
like
using a
a paper
big,
filter.
those like cone shaped,
Okay.
really
For
fine
yeah.
strainers, like for ricing or something, and then
Mm,
with look like cheesecloth in that. But yeah,
yeah, I mean, I
I
guess I like
coffee filter seems wiser.
yeah, no, I
And
use
then
coffee
you wouldn't
filter.
have to do it twice. It would take
Right.
longer, but you wouldn't have
Yeah,
to
it
do it
took I
twice.
left it for 4 hours. Then I came back to it and went, "Okay, well, it's clear." But what you get when you do that is, like, something that just has a very I don't have a better way to say it, like, creamy mouth texture. Like, it adds that kind of thick,
Thick and liquid.
viscous-ish
Ew.
feel. to your beverage. Which do you want a margarita like that? I don't know if I
I
do.
don't. I don't think I do.
It's different.
I mean, he was like, "Yeah, this is the best beef drink." Like, I don't
Well, that's a TikTok influencer. That's everything is the best that they've ever tried and done. So, good for them.
Yeah, but
Let's
this is a current trend now, is
milk
making
I mean, milk and
clarified
fat washing have been for a while,
margaritas.
but margaritas
You have
milk and
never seen it with margarita before. Now it's getting popular, but I don't know why.
if I see it in the restaurant, that'll be one tick in their favor, and if I see it in a restaurant for more than a year from the start of when I see it, I'll believe that it's a something people want
It's
consistently
like
'cause
the bright, refreshing, like, I get it with the frozen, right?
Mhm.
Um, I like them shaken, I like them frozen, but I
Wait,
the bright, citrusy, refreshing would get lost. I don't want my margarita to be that smooth.
what do they freeze it? Did they make a frozen
No,
margarita out of oh, okay. I'm like,
no,
'cause that would be more ice creamy.
poured
That'd
it
be
over
interesting.
a cube.
Ew.
Kinda
That's
how
my
I
honest
felt.
reaction.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes people just gotta try stuff because they can, and I'm sure somebody likes it. I don't think I'm
Sure.
gonna do this.
Yeah, yeah, I'm okay. I don't need that.
Okay, so how we make put a twist on a margarita?
Mhm.
Well, I did that last week because I had this cucumber jalapeno infused, and I thought that's a great idea for margarita. I've never seen one done with that. I mean, obviously jalapeno margaritas, but cucumber seemed like a great idea. I tasted the tequila itself, like I said, great. The cucumber wasn't really coming through for me. Neither was the jalapeno. Like, none of these flavors it was supposedly infused with, it didn't have any heat to it. Like, I wasn't getting the infusion other than it tasted a little sweet for some reason. But when I mixed it, it kinda did pull out and translate. And what I did was I used, the tequila, and I chopped up fresh jalapeno, put it right in the shaker with the ice. I put cubes of cucumber. I cut up, like, probably, I don't know, like, 3 fat slices and then quartered them. And I just shook all that right in there with some triple sec, um, and lime juice, fresh lime juice that I squeezed, and made myself a good, and the cucumber did pop. It was really nice. The second one I made was better. I left the ribs and seeds in my second jalapeno because I wanted some more heat and
Yeah.
flavor than I was getting in the first one. The first one I was using like a piece of leftover jalapeno I had from a recipe that had been ribbed and everything.
Mhm.
For this purpose, you kind of want the pith in there and stuff to give it the that pop of flavor. Um, and a little messy. So yeah, the second one I did the same thing, but more jalapeno with the pith, cucumber, and a little squirt of agave. Um, and it was really good. It ramped up, everything balanced out. The agave really did a thing to, without bringing the strong, because this tequila itself had a very strong flavor. It kind of mellowed it without bringing it more forward.
Mhm.
It balanced just that little bit of agave in there, balanced all the ingredients up. So now you have it, guys. You make a jalapeno margarita, throw a couple hunks of cucumber in there. It was lovely.
I, a modification I didn't think would work until I tried it. It was a couple years ago, but, instead of cucumber, throwing in blueberries was also pretty good.
Hmm.
Um, so and it's really
I've done
kinda
that with
adds
mojitos, but I have not done that with a margarita.
it's a similar accent, but it's just going slightly sweet instead of slightly herbal, but you still get, like, with the skins, you get some of
Oh, and
those
I use a
tannins.
tahine rim. So
Ooh,
yeah, tahine and salt mixed together. I didn't
nice.
buy the tahine stuff. And I guess other people have thought of this. I Googled it, and yeah, people do cucumber jalapeno margaritas. But it was my idea without knowing that. And a modification I see here adds ginger as well. I'm
Ooh,
in.
okay.
That
Ginger jalapeno?
uh,
Or,
huh?
like, all
Yeah.
3?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I make this Thai cucumber salad that's
Okay.
made with it's like ginger, garlic, onion, cucumbers. Um it's yeah, and jalapenos in it. It's really, really good. It's a regular thing in my household that we love. And I will have to remember next time we're having a cookout and I make that Thai cucumber salad to throw some ginger in my margarita and see how that
Mm.
goes. That should pair up nicely.
Yeah. I like it. So speaking
So
of
non-alcoholic?
non-alcoholic, so I think I've talked about this in the non-alcoholic season, but I would use Almolve, which I am not sponsored to say, but, it was one of these, non-alcoholic brands of tequila that I kept getting advertised to on everywhere on social media,
Mhm.
and
Every time we
they
talk about some kinda liquor, like,
right?
we're doing the
It
research, and so our Google has it and, puts it everywhere and tries to sell us all these things.
it's made from blue agave. It's made by a master
Huh.
distiller who previously worked with regular tequila. And I believe Almave's parent company is partially owned by the House of Tequila, which is owned by another European beverage company, but whatever. But it's got a lot of knowledge behind it, and it's been my favorite NA to try so far, and I've tried a few NA tequilas. Um,
Mm.
so I would use this. I would just use a little bit extra. So instead of 2 ounces of tequila, I'd use 2.5 or 3, and maybe just tone down like the lime juice, but not even much. Maybe a quarter ounce instead of an ounce. A quarter ounce off, so 3.5.
Okay.
Wow, 3.5.
Why more?
Sorry. No, sorry, I didn't mean to say 3.5 ounces. I meant to say 3/4. There we go, brain, of lime, so just a little bit less. I'd use a little bit more of the tequila just because it's softer tasting.
Okay.
Like, the profile is there. Like, sipping it, I get tequila taste. Even, like, it's sitting at the end, it kinda just nips at my throat a little bit.
Neat.
Um, I like that. Man, there's even still a little bit of residual on my tongue. I think they did a really good job with it. But other than that, I'd use a little bit of fresh lemon juice, quarter to half ounce, and a little bit of orange simple syrup, not more than half an ounce, and that would make
Mm.
has made.
Isn't
This
it
is not
funny how your
alcoholic.
brain thinks you're drinking even though it's NA?
It's giving me like the tongue flops.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's
It's
definitely a
so silly.
convincing one. Your brain is fooled. Um, is that a
I'm flushing
distilled
even.
and then alcohol removed
Uh, you know,
process? Do you know?
I looked it up a long time ago and I already forgot. Handcrafted, harvested, distilled, true expression. I'm ooh, ooh, there's even a little picture on the back. Let me turn my little stage light around here.
Pretty
Woo!
bottle.
It is actually a really nice bottle. It's on the more expensive side, unfortunately, but, see, agave, distilled in copper. So it looks like, yeah, distilled, and then it would have to be alcohol removed after that.
Okay, it's I the answer I have says harvested, cooked, crushed, and then they distill it several times instead of fermenting. They just don't do the fermenting part.
Huh, huh,
So it says on their website.
okay. No, I mean, no, that's
They do several distills to concentrate the flavors and stuff.
so they
But
just take, like, juice, basically, agave juice.
well, the regular process is they take the agave plants and they chop them up. I was just watching a show do this the other day. I was
And
watching
put them over the
tequila being
fire.
made. Yeah, just roast them a long, long time and then juice them. Yeah, and then ferment and then distill. But they just
Skip
yeah,
the ferment part.
they just
Interesting.
skip the ferment and they distill it several times, which makes sense because
Okay.
fermentation is going to change uh, the sugar profile, but that's going to get removed in distilling anyway. But you're going to need to do it more than once to get all those flavors out. So neat. Yeah. A full on not removed. It's probably why it's better. Like, I
That could
think
be
some
convenient.
of these products, it's either one process or another. They started without alcohol or they started with it, and it seems like these folks making the Almave, I guess, is how it doesn't does it have an accent? Um,
Oh, it doesn't,
care
but
about their craft. So
I don't think it's Almave.
Almave.
I don't think it's that.
I said Almave.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have an accent, but I think you're
Right.
right. I think it is
I,
Almave.
yeah. Almav.
Almav.
Almav doesn't scare me. It sounds like your recipe there would be really yummy frozen.
Ooh, yeah. What was you're talking about like the history of the frozen margarita. I'm like, I have a small ice cream machine. I wouldn't be afraid to try this out. Let's make some frozen non-alcoholic margarita. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a slushy.
Just use a blender. But
I mean, I have a blender, but to get those fine,
I've
really,
got
really
a
fine ice
really
crystals.
I got a new immersion blender and it's strong. I would definitely use it over my blender.
Mm.
I worry about the ice cream machine. Well, I mean, you just take it out when it's the texture you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that. Why not?
You have to do that. Do that and report back.
Oh yeah.
So
Did you learn anything fun along the way? With
I
this episode?
did. The world's largest margarita was made in 2012 in Las Vegas, totaling 32,176 liters,
Oh my god!
approximately 8,500 gallons.
Wow. Was it in a glass
I
or
don't know.
glass-like container? Water tower? Did it have a salt rim?
I put a link in the notes for the article I got it from, but I didn't go. I ran out of time and I didn't go actually look at it, see if it had pictures. Okay. No, it's just a big drum.
Oh.
July 11th. No. Okay, wait. 2012. That's outdated. The
Oh,
world's largest margarita as of July 11th, 2025
2025.
is a 34,419.4 liter. Which says 79.7 gallon. So somebody's math is also bad because
Yeah.
by the gallons, that one's saying it's wrong. Anyway, but it was in Tijuana. That's better. But
Well,
that's
there we go.
apparently
9,000 gallons.
the new current record, and it's huge. What a cool pictures. But it's just a big drum. Like it's not even see through.
But it
I
has like a
guess.
lime on it, and it's kind of like branded and
In Margaritaville, Universal
fun
City
looking.
Walk. That doesn't. These pictures don't look like they match the article because that doesn't look like Tijuana. I'm gonna click on the Guinness thing. There's no picture on the Guinness one. What the hell? I want to see a picture of it. Damn it!
All
I
right,
see pictures of different attempts, and they're all in these not see-through.
Okay, so one of those
Images.
pictures is real. It's the one that has like scaffolding by it, and it's so at the top.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
went to CNN.
Yeah, CBS News Chicago has a report with a picture too.
Yeah,
The scaffolding. Official
okay,
attempt Guinness Records.
exactly.
Margarita Cachanilla? What? All right. Cool.
Crazy. I mean, even for cheap tequila, that's a lot of tequila.
I wonder. I don't see spigots. They should have put spigots on it. How did
Right?
they just
I'm sure there's
waste
like
it?
a hose attachment on the bottom, and then no one will ever remember spring break that year. Last year, still can't find Chad.
There's oh my gosh, little individual bottles of tequila. I see people like in chef coats and masks and hairnets making it for the Guinness attempt, and they've got like gallons and gallons of, I don't know if it's a lime juice or milk, and just bottles and bottles of tequila. Cool.
That's nuts.
So anyway, yeah, I learned that, and I learned the Daisy thing. I had never heard of the Daisy family of cocktails, like the sour cocktails. I mean, I'm sure you have a long history bartending. I do not. I never heard of Daisy cocktails, and I nor did I know that margarita is the Spanish word for the flower, the daisy. No idea.
It's good times. I don't think I had any new fun facts that we didn't already cover. That was my bad. Some of these stories I had no idea. I'd heard of the Daisy margarita one before. Like a lot of these other ones, there was a bunch of like, well, this guy was hired to make a cocktail to help Jose Cuervo because his boss had a relationship with them and blah blah blah. And I'm like, nah, no,
That's probably not what happened.
no. I mean, that's a good marketing story. And back in the 50s, I'm sure you could get away with it because no one's going to fact check you.
Yeah.
But no, since there's already publications coming out that had really darn close cocktails almost 20 years before that, no.
Yeah.
No, you didn't invent the margarita.
So I want to remind you, and we're going to go through all our show notes, and I guess we'll let our audience know that we're talking about. Okay, for one thing, if you become a Patreon, you already have access to our file that has our drink recipes in it from things that we've invented and talked about in the show, but mostly like on ours, our cocktails, John's and mine, and our collaborations. And we're talking about like publishing that in a hard copy down the line a little bit. And I haven't been updating it. I know I haven't been updating it consistently, but especially with us talking about cocktails this whole season, we're gonna have like what 20 episodes, 20 different
Oh
cocktails.
gosh. Yeah.
So we're gonna have a lot of additions to that document, and maybe publish at the end of the season. I don't know when we're gonna publish yet, but this is the thing that's in the works. If you want to get a look at the kind of recipes we have now, join our Patreon and take a look at the document. And this is also me holding myself accountable to go in there and get some updates in there.
The last ones updated were from our live stream on New Year's Eve of this year. So I put those cocktails in
Not
there.
bad. I would have thought, it would have been the damn Southeast meetup a couple years ago. But we've definitely, we'll get in there and start updating that. So there's your call to arms, everyone. Join our Patreon. You can email us at tippletheory@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Suggestions and stuff are always welcome. Don't forget to like, follow, review us on the listening platform of your choice. And in our next episode, we'll be talking about the Negroni.
See you next time. Please check out patreon.com/Tipple Theory today, where you can become a supporter and get access to video of our cocktail of the week being made and other behind-the-scenes goodies. Thank you to Scott Gesser for writing our theme music that you're listening to right now. You can find him and links to his music at scottgesser.weebly.com.